Why is this side quest good, while these are all kinda mid? I've got the answer explaining why you love some side content in games while others leave you just a little bit bored. We've been enjoying or enduring side content in video games since before Mario first bounced over to Star Road. These optional adventures often lead to brand new gameplay mechanics and story beats, but other times they just amount to delivering beans, and nobody likes just delivering beans. Side quests in games like The Witcher 3, Yakuza, and early Final Fantasies are revered as some of the best quests ever created. They entice the player to complete them all, while other games are reviled for their admittedly samey fetch quests, regardless of how well designed the rest of the game may be. So why? What exactly makes side content worth playing? What motivates a player to experience every ounce of content available? And likewise, what makes a player give up on side quests or entire games? To answer, it's time for another ProfNoctis lecture, this time on interest and motivation. In 2010, John Keller, a Florida State professor, published a book on interest, motivation, and attitude. In it, he offered 4 key components that determine whether a participant finds an activity, in his case a lesson, worthwhile or not. Those components are attention, relevance, confidence, satisfaction. Keller says that we grab and hold attention in 2 ways, through generating surprise and uncertainty, or by stimulating curiosity through questions or obstacles. Similarly, relevance refers to experiences that are connected to other parts of life and useful for the future, which leads us to confidence. If something is an opportunity to grow, test current abilities, and show off, then it's confidence building. And these 3 inform a person's overall level of satisfaction, which is the determining factor for whether or not a person will continue engaging. It's the reward at the end of the experience, whether physical or emotional. So there you have it. Attitude and interest are determined by these 4 components: attention, relevance, confidence, and satisfaction. You have these 4, and you've got yourself something truly remarkable. That's what we need to think about. Got it? In video games, side quests are meant to keep players engaged far beyond the main scenarios of a story. To do that, they need to abide by these basic components of interest. So let's talk about how some of the side quests people love do this. First, attention.
Sir! Yes, sir!
If holding a player's attention demands an element of surprise or challenge, then a good side quest necessarily deviates from the main game in ways that subvert gameplay and narrative expectations. This means the side quest can't simply feel like more main scenario questing. Instead, a side quest should temporarily break the established gameplay loop in order to accomplish something out of the ordinary. This is why we find fetch quests delivering items from one place to the next so unfulfilling.
This sucks.
A side quest has got to be more than mere delivery. It needs to offer discovery. Discovery of some new gameplay element or some deeper lore in the story, or ideally, both. Take for example the quest, The Missing Farm Tools in Tears of the Kingdom. When you learn that Princess Zelda borrowed some farm tools from a nearby stable and never returned them, you've got to speak with a stable hand to retrieve them. The problem is, the stable hand needs to head downriver. Now this is where you come in to figure out a way to navigate the raft downstream with an NPC to the desired goal. This could have been little more than a fetch quest. Talk to the bird, go to the stable hand, go to the place, return. However, through surprise, Zelda is stealing farm tools, and challenge, how do I get this guy here over there? This mundane task becomes immediately memorable by discovering the answer to why and how. It's like that old saying, it's about the journey, not the destination. So if that's true, the goal really isn't the delivery, it's the discovery. And side note, can you really discover something if all you're doing is just chasing down waypoints and quest markers? Turn that clutter off every chance you get for the fullest experience. That's how we used to do it in my day. Hey, get off my lawn! Next up, relevance.
The things I do for art.
Side quests in games need to relate to the rest of the game, whether narratively or functionally. In this way, the story of a side quest should offer world building that, while not necessary, helps the player better understand the game's lore. This helps the quest remain rooted in the world's narrative, but it's focused on details in ways that the main narrative may not be able to. Author Richard Price describes storytelling like this: the bigger the issue, the smaller you write. Remember that. You don't write about the horrors of war, no, you write about a kid's burnt socks lying on the road. You pick the smallest manageable part of the big thing and you work off the resonance. A side quest, especially in an RPG, does just that. But, and this is important, the side quest is simply additional context. Otherwise, it becomes optional main story content, and that becomes a storytelling issue. Being relevant also means that your actions in the world are consequential. The world changes for better or worse. People live or die. If the world goes on as normal, whether or not you complete a quest, what was the point? This often gets lost when a player is asked to do tasks that, quite frankly, are beneath them. You're holding off saving the world, so it better be worth it. Why are we serving dishes? In an interview with Gamespot, the lead quest designer of The Witcher 3 discussed the team's approach to side quests. He said, "When we design quests and storylines, we always try to keep everything in the context of the world. It's not just a single quest, it's basically the storyline of a character. Unraveling it can have consequences for the world. It can basically impact what will happen later on in the main storyline. These side quests are intertwined with the main story very strongly." He finally goes on to say, "We have the main storyline and very important story branches. These branches end as you progress with the main storyline, but there are also side quests, big side quests, that are not dependent on the main storyline at all. Once you end the game, you can continue playing those. If you do not complete these side branches, it also has an impact on the main storyline. That's why you can't go back and change them, because then you would cheat the game." Notice two things: consequence and intertwining stories. These help make The Witcher 3's quest feel rooted and relevant to the whole game's world. That makes all the difference to the player. Next, confidence.
I guess I can do it.
Just like in the classroom, a side quest should challenge what a player already knows instead of spoon-feeding content. It doesn't take much effort at all to go somewhere, press X, go somewhere else, hack and slash a mob, then return and press X. Instead, a side quest ought to balance the right level of difficulty, subverting the current understanding of gameplay, challenging knowledge of a game's systems, or forcing the player to think critically and strategize accordingly. These tasks can't be too easy, but they can't be impossible. Instead, the perfect balance will challenge the player to better hone their skills so they feel powerful, smart, giving them a huge dose of achievement dopamine. It's the feeling that, hey, not everybody could do this. I really am like a hero because I rose to the challenge where others couldn't. Which ultimately leads to satisfaction. It's that feeling of a job well done. You accomplished a new challenge that mattered and you're left feeling proud, fulfilled, and satisfied. But you know what else would be the icing on the cake? An actual payoff. Loot. Rewards earned upon completion. And now we have a new party member, ladies and gentlemen. A Yeti with a love for bone carvings. Now, if you've ever been put off by a simple fetch quest, earning mere crafting materials that you could have gotten anywhere else, this is why. And it's probably what's made you much less likely to continue doing other side content. It wasn't worth it in the end. Doing any one of these four things is going to increase a player's interest, but if you excel in all four, that's a masterclass kind of quest. To me, the best game to have ever done this is still Chrono Trigger. Every side quest leads you to real-world consequences, often determining which of the dozen endings you'll get. For example, one side quest initiates when you hear the plight of a woman named Fiona. It's a time travel narrative, so bear with me. In 600 AD, the forest surrounding Fiona's villa is dying and she fails to save it, resulting in a desert wasteland in the present. To save the forest, Chrono, or the player, has to first travel further back in time to 12,000 BC. He finds a woman, plants a seed, which somehow creates a quicksand whirlpool in the desert in 600 AD that Chrono can use to enter a cavern swarming with monsters or something. Butterfly effect. After clearing out the caverns, your robot party member, bear with me, will offer to stay with Fiona and help her restore the forest. Really cool animations that you won't see outside of doing this quest. By returning to the location in 1000 AD, instead of desert, there's a lush forest with a shrine in the middle of it. It's there that you can retrieve your robot companion, be treated to a new story sequence in a new locale, further expanding the backstory of one of your core party members. Now, upon success, in addition to changing the landscape and a known character's fate, the player player receives a special item. This whole quest keeps the player's attention through new details and locale, keeps it rooted in and consequential to the world, challenges the player's ability to fully understand time travel logistics, and rewards the player with a great item. The perfect side quest all around. So this is all great, but let's get back to our initial question. People have complained about Final Fantasy XVI side quest, but are these critiques founded? If they are, what could they have done better? By these 4 components, yeah, the criticisms are mostly valid. The lore and the narrative expansion in the quest is often next level, but sometimes it's a little bit tedious. The quests are always relevant, but often don't have the consequences beyond just missing out on dialogue. Only in a select few quests is there any real challenge that tests proficiency, and the rewards are by and large disappointing, outside of crafting materials and collectibles here and there.
I'm wasting my time.
So the relevance and confidence building challenges are mostly there, but 16 falters in holding attention through surprise and satisfaction. What could have made these quests better? Unfortunately, it would not have been an easy fix. Final Fantasy XVI is a game that is combat oriented, so gameplay really revolves around that. Now, whenever I saw a dozen more side quests pop up, I knew that the story would be incredible, but the gameplay would be predictable, if not monotonous. In a perfect world with no regard for how hard or expensive this would be to program, introducing gameplay elements to break up the constant battle-focused tasks would have gone a long way. Perhaps by being able to use the icon abilities outside of battle. Just imagine using Garuda's Claw to retrieve something from a tree, or Titan's Smash to break a boulder, or Shiva's Ice to freeze a waterfall, or even lava like Jill does in the Iron Kingdom. Now this would have required major game mechanic expansion, but it would have helped offer some unique variety of gameplay. However, a simpler, already included mechanic would have been to utilize the chocobo traversal skills. Why can you kick and even drift while riding your bird, but these are never used in quests? For narrative reasons, maybe it's not appropriate to have chocobo racing, but imagine a chocobo medic quest, where you're racing to get someone much needed medicine or something like that. All I'm saying is, we have the ability to drift on chocobos. Use it. Ultimately, gameplay diversity, along with relevance, challenge, and good rewards are the essential ingredients for good side quests. That's my thinking anyway, but what do you think makes a good side quest? What did I miss? Out of those 4 components, which makes you feel like a side quest is worth playing? Also, what's your favorite side quest of all time? Sound off in the comments and let's see if we can come up with something better together. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, follow me on social media, and for all your video game analysis, remember to head over to the-pixels.com for more gaming content. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Till then, walk tall, my friends.